So we're gonna, those of you that looked a little bit at the high notes know that we're now in the month of Elul, and it's a time of preparation for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. There's a great deal of wisdom in our tradition in that you don't just show up for the high holy days and expect to be moved and so forth. It's possible. You do repentance and so forth. But in the tradition, there is a preparation that begins during the month of Elul. Some of that preparation involves reading of Psalms, taking time out in the course of the day for reflection about where you've been in life and where you're headed or where you hope to head in the next year. The things that a person may have some regret and that they may be able to rectify. And it's a time for building up to the high holy days. And the people that do that, or try to do that, I think probably get more out of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur than those who just, and I'm very happy for those who come and so forth with large number of people. But there is something about preparation, and that's what this month is. And it's interesting that it corresponds to a midrash, and I'll refer to it during the High Holy Days, that on the 1st of Elul, after the tablets were broken, and God told Moses to go back up and carve out a new set of tablets, he went up on the 1st of Elul and came down on Yom Kippur. So even he went up and did the hard work of carving out the commandments, which is kind of a metaphor, really, for the kind of preparation that's envisioned in our tradition. So I'd like to do two things. And also another thing is that we blow the shofar every day. And those of you that were at the services last Friday, Rabbi Silberman blew the shofar because Shabbat hasn't begun. So what I'd like to do is just read, for example, a psalm, Psalm 50, a portion, and then we'll blow the shofar. Okay. By the way, is there anybody here that can actually blow it? Okay, don't all raise your hand at one time. Okay, all right. What's that? Well, yeah, okay. There may be a standing problem, but a psalm of Asaph. God, the Lord God spoke and summoned the world from east to west. From Zion, perfect in beauty, God appeared. Let our God come and not fail to act. Devouring fire preceded him. It stormed around God fiercely. God summoned the heavens above and the earth for the trial of God's people. Bring in my devotees who made a covenant with me over sacrifice. Then the heavens proclaimed his righteousness, for God is a God who judges. Pay heed, my people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will arraign you. I am God, your God. For mine is every creature of the forest and every animal of 1,000 mountains. I know every bird of the mountains, and all creatures of the field are subject to me. Were I hungry, I would not tell you, for mine is the world and all it holds. Sacrifice a thank offering unto God. Call upon God in time of trouble, and I will rescue you, and you, the children of Israel, shall honor me. So please rise. We'll give this a try. See if this will work. Yah. Be seated. We'll start. What's that?
The lungs are fine.
I think I'm over the pneumonia. I think. Okay, you may be seated. So with that, we'll commence our service with, of course, the beautiful lighting of the Shabbat candles. And Priscilla and Anne, would you like to come and light the candles this evening for us? Page 120.
Good evening. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with his mitzvot and commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom to everyone. We're going to continue now on page 128 with Ma Yafeh Hayom and Hine Ma Tov.
Please join in with us.
We continue with the beautiful Dodi, Come My Beloved, page 138, first two stanzas, and then the last stanza on page 139, where we will rise and we will welcome the spirit of Shabbat.
Shabbat.
And with that beautiful spirit, let us turn to page 144 and then page 146 for the Chatzi Kaddish and then the Barchu.
Vit gadol shmei Rabba, Yam adi brachute, Yam nikmachute, b'chai kon u'b'yom ekon, u'v'kai kol beit Yisrael, Badala, Badala, u'v'zman kariv, v'meru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mivarak, li'olam u'lam me'almaya, Yitbarak, Yitbarak, v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitrumbam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei dikudisham, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'alma, v'meru, Amen. Quickly before we begin the Baruch, this may be a new one to some of you. It begins with a little bit of a nigun, so once you kind of get it, you can follow along singing. I'll introduce the Baruch et Adonai, and then you'll join in with the same melody for the rest of the Baruch.
In our tradition, there are, and it's reflected here in our Siddur, Mishkan Tfilah, there are two blessings in the evening that precede the Shema, the Ma'ariv Aravim, and then the Ahavat Olam. And in Judaism, there is this alternating force in our liturgy between the universal and the particular. With the creation of the world, distinguishing light and day, that is a universal attribute. And then God's love for the children of Israel is expressed through the teaching of Torah and the doing of mitzvot. So let us turn first to page 148. Once again, a prelude to the Shema. And that discussion can be found in not only the Mishnah, but can be found in the Talmud as well. So these prayers are very, very old. Let's join together in the middle of page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God. ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully open the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. And let us go now to the traditional translation, the traditional English reading of the Avat Olam, eternal or everlasting love, page 150, and then we'll rise and we've prepared ourselves to chant the Shema Yisrael, the core declaration of our faith. Together? Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please rise for the beautiful chanting of the Shema, page 152 and 153, followed by the Via Hafta. Let us continue now with the Via Hafta, page 154. And let us turn now as a prelude to the Micha Mocha, who is like unto you among Ba'elim. It's a hard word to translate it. They translate it here among the gods, but Ba'elim can also be understood to mean Elohim, meaning judges or those who are in power. How can anyone here on earth who holds a position of power be compared unto you, O God, the ultimate source of power, the ultimate source of what is right and what is wrong? Let us read. Let us join in prayer on page 159 as a prelude to the beautiful Micha Mocha. Together, sing the song of men and women, join in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. And the land that they're talking about here isn't just simply Israel, it is the fight for freedom, the fight for justice in the world. This poem is not simply, it sounds like it's a poem maybe about Israel, but it's really not. It's an expression of hope, that just as the children of Israel were freed from tyranny at the Red Sea, which is where this is taken from, so too we hope and pray that everyone, that every human being will be freed from tyranny. We continue now with the beautiful Micha Mocha, page 158.
I encourage everyone to join in. Tonight is the night of Nigun, the song without words, the Yababas, the Yayayais, the Dai. So if you feel like you get lost in the Hebrew, feel free to join in with the Nigun.
V'nemarti fada Adonai et Yaakov u'ge'alo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch ata Adonai ka'al Yisrael. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. And once redemption takes place, then what is one of the most important things that follow redemption? And that is, for the children of Israel, it is the keeping of the Sabbath. A simple, not a complicated thing, but it expresses our eternal covenant, the eternal covenant between God and Israel. Oti li'olam, it is a sign forever. And the Shabbat has two pieces to it. If you look at the Ten Commandments, the Shabbat has two interesting concepts. In the Exodus portion, it is about creation, acknowledging creation. I think I have that. Sometimes I get it mixed up. Doesn't matter. But I think in the Exodus portion, it is about remembering creation, the universal, that God created heaven and earth, and we must honor that. And we honor that by keeping the Sabbath, by leaving the world, the philosophy of keeping the Sabbath in the way many obviously strict Orthodox Jews do. The philosophy of it is leave the world alone as best you can and still oneg, still enjoy the Shabbat. It is a time to rest and to reflect on the beauty of creation. That's one, and that's universal, right? The other is we were slaves in Egypt, and we know what bondage is like. And therefore, we should remember that piece of it and reflect and free ourselves from our personal bondage that we have, or be a slave to work. We all feel that, these are the things we have to do every day. But the Shabbat is a reminder for Israel, for the children of Israel, to free ourselves from that and to embrace the Shabbat. And the interesting thing is, and I've said this before, is that this prayer is taken from the Bible. You can see at the bottom, it's taken from Exodus 31. And right after that begins the detailed construction or the detailed blueprints of the building of the tabernacle. And the question is asked, well, why is one juxtaposed? Why does this precede the building of the tabernacle? Because even the Shabbat even takes precedent. You don't work on Shabbat, even if you want to build or work on the temple. The Shabbat is its own temple, which is a priority over the building of a temple, the physical work that it takes to maintain this beautiful sanctuary. And so it's a reminder that our building expresses one of the highest ideals. And that's why we gather here on Friday night. So we continue with the beautiful Vishamru, page 162.
Beautiful and lively.
To the Tefillah, please rise, page 164 through page 170.
Freely
Or if it's your tradition to stand, of course you may, continuing silently in silent meditation from page 172 through page 180, or just in your own, as I said before, your own silent meditations. us join in prayer, the prayer of thanksgiving on page 177 together. Top of the page. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatoshim ka ulecha na'el lehodot. Just, I'll keep this relatively short. One of the major themes, I think, of the High Holy Days is to come to some recognition that each of us have a struggle within, a struggle from within. And I'll just reference for a moment that even from a counseling or from a therapeutic standpoint, there is acknowledgement of that struggle from within. If you look at theories of personality, almost all of them in some form or another have this aspect of struggle. We all know about Freud, you know, the id, the selfish desires, the super ego, which is the morality from society. Don't do this, don't do that, you must do this. And then there's that mediating influence, that mediator, the ego, which is the in-between, achieving a balance between these two tensions. Carl Rogers, a lot of people think Carl Rogers didn't have a theory of personality, but he actually did have a theory of personality. It was unlike Freud's, but there was that similar tension. In Carl Rogers' theory of personality, he talked about the self and the self-actualization, being the person who you inwardly know that you were meant to be and are being. However, society comes and we incorporate what we call, and we develop an ideal self. It's what society, our environment. And I mean, here's a very, and sometimes that's a good thing. So for example, as a young kid, you know, you want to run out in the street and you're not thinking about cars and so forth. And mom and dad, rightfully so, pull you out and say, don't ever do that again. You know, that gets incorporated into the self. And it's these tensions between the real self and the ideal self. The goal of therapy is to reconcile those conflicts. That's and I can point to others, but time doesn't permit. And I think in Judaism for the High Holy Days, if we really reflect on it, we do it both in terms of our communal sense. The notion of tshuva is an acknowledgement of this tension between the ideal, that is, the ideal would be to be able to follow Torah every single day and be perfect, right? And yet we're human beings and we have desires and we have drives, and we will violate from time to time these high, lofty ideals. And so how do we reconcile those tensions? Well, we reconcile those tensions by engaging as a community and individually we do tshuva. Tshuva doesn't really, it loses its translation a little bit in the English. It comes from the word shuv, which is to return. A return to oneself and a return to God. We're taught in various parts of our tradition that God lies in the heart of the human being. And the example that they give is there's a mitzvah, right? A mitzvah of love your neighbor as yourself. That's a mitzvah. And like mitzvah like lighting candles on Shabbat. So, and there's no hierarchy of mitzvot. And the question is raised, well, how does one know? I mean, how does person know that another person is loving the neighbor as yourself? And they give examples, and that's ambiguous. You send someone to a store, for example, and then the person needs something at the store, and you say, oh, I know Costco has it, but in your heart, Costco doesn't have it. You just want to run them around because for whatever the reason you don't like, you want to play a joke and so forth and so on. And so you could always say on the outside, well, I didn't know, right? I didn't know. But there's one person that does know, and that's the person. And the idea is that God lies in the heart. God is not out there somewhere in some ephemeral sense or some, spiritual sense. When it comes to mitzvot and it comes to doing right, and sometimes we're torn by that. We sometimes don't even know what to do. We're in situations, and it's complicated, and there's no right, clear answer. God, in our tradition, lies in the heart. And it's God that we turn to. But in the Jewish paradigm, um, um, instead of an ego or instead of a superego, God lies within. And it's that turning to, listening to the deepest part of ourselves that for some is like an inner voice that we hear, that's driving us towards some path. And our role on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and before is to wrestle with that and to come to some peace. And so that as we approach the high holy days, we are at one with God. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. We can be one with God, which is the purpose, which is our hope and our prayer as these high holy days approach. Shabbat Shalom. You truly bless us with your prayers, your beautiful prayers that you. Thank you. We continue now with the Mishaberach prayer, a prayer for healing, page 371. pray for the healing of Dr. John Johnson, Harold Fink, Emily Fink, Drew Pasaglia, David Cherniak, Ann Miller, Amy Sunberg, Mary Elizabeth Perry, Elaine Berman, James Perry, Howard Silverman, Patricia Silverman, Sandy Cook, and Andy Tomsick. Is there anyone who you wish to add to our prayers for healing? Thank you. Thank you. Please rise for the Aleinu, page 586. You may be seated. This week we observe the yahrzeits of Esther Devora Friedlander, Ruth Lamensdorf, Arthur Engstreich, Sue Odeski, Alvin Miller, Dolores Shatton, Henry Gagstatter, Joshua Marcus, and Naomi Hamanoff Stern. Is there anyone observing a yahrzeit or saying Kaddish for someone who they wish to remember at this time? The mourner's Kaddish, those observing the mourner's Kaddish may be found on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabba v'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach leolam ule'almei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitala v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God, who establishes peace unto the heavens, grant peace and comfort in the hearts of all who mourn, and let us say, Amen. You may be seated. Anyone from the board delivering the announcements for this evening? Yeah, please. Sure. People. No, I don't have the, well, uh, I can do it by heart, but that's okay since I did a fair amount for this coming week. But please, we can wait for, if you can call up the high notes. I can tell you that we do have religious school at 10 o'clock on Sunday.
Okay, so religious school has begun, and we'll meet again this Sunday at 10 a.m. Torah study, which is virtual only, happens on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Topic, chapters 11 and 12 from the book of Numbers. There will be an interfaith Bible study on Thursday, September 19th at 5:30 p.m.
Let me stop it. Where?
Where is it? Oh, at the temple.
I was supposed to, I sent
This one is tough.
I have to send it them, and I won't say.
So 5:30 p.m. here at the temple this Thursday. And then, and that's, who are the two, the Presbyterian Church?
Right, the Government Street Presbyterian Church.
And the First
Yeah,
Baptist
First Baptist
Church, right. Okay, the lunch bunch will meet on Wednesday, September 25th, this coming Wednesday, at noon. Oh, no, September 25th, that's not this coming Wednesday. Okay, well, on September 25th. All right, so, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Good job,
Thank
Ann.
you.
There should have been, I don't know if it was actually in the high notes. You can sit down, it's okay. At 9:30 on Sunday morning, because I know I sent, I did what I did. I'm giving a lecture at Government Street Presbyterian Church at 9:30. The title is "Are We There Yet? Jewish Concepts of Messianism." So should be an interesting morning. This Sunday at 9:30. Yeah. So okay. Well, must have been a glitch in the system but I'll check it out. Okay. All right. We're going to continue now with the Kiddush and Motzi. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu. V'Shabbat kadsho, v'yahava uvratzon, im kilanu, zikaron l'maseh, Mitzrayim, Kivanu vavarta, ve'otanu kidasha, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kashercha, mi'ava u'ratzon, im kaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
You may be seated. We're going to conclude our service. Oh, excuse me. Before we do, we want to welcome a number of people who are with us virtually. Ellie and Cole Appleman, James Perry, Carol Eberlein, Mel and Odette Sternberg, Diana Kubat, Harold and Emily Fink, Marion Birkin, Leslie Miller, Hannah Kennedy, Harvey and Sandra Gandler, Karen and Hemath Singh, Randy Fry, Shirley Boyd, Stan Zimmerman, and Leonard Wells. So we welcome you here with us virtually. And of course, we want to thank Andy for being our tech person this evening and making their participation possible. And of course, to Christopher Nemec, I think finally got that right, thank you. And of course, to our cantorial soloist, Molly. We're going to conclude our service with the singing of Esa Enai, and that may be found on page 643.
So in theme tonight, I decided even no matter how large or small our group was, we could all join in and sing together. So you notice that a lot of the pieces that I chose tonight had a lot of that nigun, a lot of songs without words. You can make up your own syllables, your own words, your own da-da-da, whatever. So this is another one. This is a newer Esa Enai. So I want to encourage you to at least sing along with whatever syllables you feel you need to sing. And if you can join in with the Hebrew, even better.
What page did you say it's on?
643.
So that's the right page.
Let's make sure I got that one right. Let's see. Yeah, top
Top of the page.
Good. Yitain Adonai Yevorech et amo v'shalom. May God give strength unto our people, and may God bless us with God's peace and wholeness. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Beautifully done. Beautiful.